As time passed, the leaders of the 1008 universe countries of geniuses, the great undyings, all arrived here at restaurant number 1. Be it in the first level, or the second level, they were all chatting casually. This youth called Bolin, although he is only a star level, his comprehension of the space origin laws is that strong. Who knows, in 100 eras, he might become a space knight. Space knight. That's too much. To become a space knight, that's still a long ways to go. Many undyings have trained for trillions of years and still have been unable to become space knights. His still far off becoming a space knight is not that easy to achieve. Hard. Even his physical body passing through space and teleporting is still far from it. Much less becoming a space knight. That's excessive flattery. In our 1008 universe countries, how long has it been since we've had a new knight? That youth may be an exceptional rare genius from many generations of competitions. However, in terms of geniuses, if you had said he'd become like us as undyings, I'd agree. However, to become a space knight, that's simply too, space knight. These two words had aroused the objections of a large group of the undyings, as all of them were rejecting the idea. What are you discussing? It's so noisy. At evening, sipping drinks in one of the restaurants in the plaza, Luo Feng suddenly heard a voice invade his consciousness. Participants from the 1008 universe countries, please gather at the center plaza. Unconsciously, Luo Feng stood straight up. It wasn't just him, all the geniuses in the restaurant stood up too. 1,008,000 geniuses, be it flying from the sky or from the skyscrapers, all flew out, some even flying from the edges of the plaza, all gathering in the center. Over 1 million geniuses were gathered there. At this time, with 1,008,000 geniuses there forming a large square formation, stood in the center of the plaza. After which, they all awoke. What happened? Luo Feng awoke. What's going on? Why am I here? I was just within the house. The entire square formation of over 1 million geniuses had woken suddenly, even that death god Bolin too had the same shocked expression. At this time, above the square formation, 1008 undyings stood there. These undyings naturally released their auras and pressure, with the pressure of over 1,000 undyings. These caused the over 1 million geniuses to immediately go silent, not one daring to even make a sound. Welcome to all participants in our virtual universe company's Pinnacle Genius competition. A gentle voice resounded within every ear. Everyone turned over to look, and were completely shocked. The originally empty space in front suddenly had a green armored purple-scaled man appear. He was all smiles, however standing in mid-air, he seemed like an ancient god. The aura he naturally emitted made the over 1 million geniuses submit unconsciously. Also, even though they could see him there with their eyes, all the geniuses felt as though this great being himself was almost like in a different space altogether. That time and space disorderly feeling made them feel extremely uncomfortable. 1008 universe countries, 1,000 from each, a total of over 1 million geniuses. The green-robed man stood in mid-air, surveying the over 1 million geniuses below. His voice was gentle. Our virtual universe company is going to pick the 1,000 strongest from you all and absorb them into the core of our virtual universe company. The 1,000,000 of you will contest for 1,000 slots. The rules are as below. Tomorrow, all of you will separately enter a training space. Our virtual universe company has prepared over 1 million training spaces, one for each of you. There's a total of 7 towers within the training space. Every tower has 7 levels. From the first tower you will begin your battle. After finishing the first tower and all of its 7 levels, then you can enter the second tower. If you die at any point, you will be kicked out of the training space. According to your training space results, we'll calculate the points. The top rankers in points from rank 100 will immediately be absorbed into the virtual universe company's core members, acquiring 100 slots. From rank 101 to rank 7,300, these 7,200 people will engage in arena duels and fight for the remaining 900 slots. As for those 7,300 and behind, they'll be eliminated. The green-robed man's words caused the over 1 million geniuses to be stunned. There were a total of 1,008,000 people this time, meaning that just from this training space, over 1 million were going to be eliminated. Daybreak of the next day, everyone please get ready, we'll begin the group teleportation soon, which will send all the participants into their respective training spaces. A clear voice resounded within the entire space where the skyscrapers were. The geniuses within the 1008 skyscrapers were up much earlier, awaiting the beginning of the elimination. First the elimination and later the duels. Over in terms of brutality of the round, it was obvious that the training space round made their hearts tremble. All the best, work hard. Within the large hall of the skyscraper 0825, the geniuses from the Ganwu universe country wished each other, it was too brutal. This first wave of elimination alone eliminated over 1 million people. Of the 1,000 geniuses in this hall, less than a count of 10 fingers worth of people may be left. Madman, good luck, Windmill, all the best. Luo Feng and the green-haired youth Windmill encouraged each other. Suddenly, rumble. A formless peculiar energy descended on the space, causing the 1,008,000 geniuses within to immediately be teleported. As for the Undyings still in that space, along with the waiters and staff etc., they weren't affected at all. There was a large meteorite that was close to 100 kilometers in size, rectangular-shaped, floating in mid-space. Luo Feng appeared on the meteorite. As he looked around, there were distant little stars around him. And not too far from himself, ordinary planets without any life could be seen. He couldn't help but exclaim, the virtual universe created more than million training spaces. Just this one alone is so realistic. This meteorite, which was floating in the universe, had 7 towers. Every tower was high like a mountain, at least 10 kilometers tall and several cubic meters in area. The 7 towers were spread out in different locations on this huge meteorite. Luo Feng lowered his gaze to look at his wrist. On it was a screen, just like during the elimination back in the Ganwu Universe country selection. Participant, Luo Feng, Ganwu Universe country, points, 0 rank, none training space location, number 0279378. There were a total of 7 towers in a training space, and each one of these towers had 7 levels. The first training tower, every level alone had a maximum score of 10,000 points. If one completed all 7 levels, they could at most acquire 70,000 points. The second tower, every level's maximum score was 100,000 points. Completing all 7 levels would gain one a maximum of 700,000 points. The fourth tower, every level's maximum score was 10 million. Completing all would give one 70 million points. Madness. Luo Feng looked at the screen, shaking his head. When everyone dies, the training ends. What does this mean? Does it mean that there is a possibility that no one can actually make it past the 7th tower? Obviously, the difficulty of the towers were extremely high. The Virtual Universe Company had confidence in killing off every one of the participants. This is pretty similar to the elimination stage of the Ganwu Universe country. However, that time it was just within that one world, and it was just a part of the Ganwu Universe country's selection and ranking within that one world. And this time, it's actually the pinnacle geniuses from the 1008 universe countries all gathered. The strong are numerous as the clouds, and ranking below 7,300, one would immediately be eliminated. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows and pondered. Obviously, the first tower was meant to be easier, and it got gradually harder towards the end. This states that there are 2 ways to get past every level. One is to kill all the targets and the other is to survive for 10 days. Then he'll be automatically transported. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Doesn't this mean, in every level, I can stay for as long as 10 days? Each training tower has 7 levels, then, just in one tower I can stay for as long as 70 days. Luo Feng couldn't help but reveal an expression of excitement. That's great, this way the 5 towers will give me 1 year's worth of time. What did he lack the most currently? Time. In reality. Solar System, Mars. A golden horned beast, at least 10 m long, let out an excited cry. Roar, after which images of the golden horned beast appeared about, continuing to study the absolute space. As a being favored by space itself, the Mosha clan clone was studying a space technique with total enjoyment. That feeling was wonderful. Virtual universe, within that plaza stood the 1008 Undyings, casually spread out. The training space elimination wasn't broadcast publicly in the entire universe. The only thing broadcasted were the rankings. And only the final duels would be broadcasted publicly. However, the Undyings from the many universe countries had special privileges. They could watch the stream of every participant. This Bolin, indeed, is vicious. The moment he started, he has been ranked number 1. So fast, this Bolin's score is rising at such a shocking speed. It far exceeds the number 2 ranker, 13. Your Ganwu Universe country's Rong Jun is not bad too. Right now he's ranked 12. The 1008 Undyings could easily watch the rank table and the situation of each participant. Right now they represented each universe country. And so, naturally they'd wish for their own geniuses to be more outstanding, that way they'd gain more respect. To these eternal beings, Face and respect was extremely important, still okay. The scaled armor giant nodded slightly, sitting in an enormous chair, watching the screen. Rong Jun. He directly opened the stream of Rong Jun's situation. All that could be seen was the wild barefooted youth, with peculiar movement, extremely quick, wielding a battle blade and slashing at the winged, three-eyed hairy lion-like creatures, ferocious beast Chimera. The scale-armored giant couldn't help but reveal a smile on his face, his eyebrows creased, his anger showing. This Luo Feng 60 days later. Rumble. Luo Feng reached the 7th level of the first tower, the 6th level before. What was in it was actually the space beast Kang. Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim as he thought about the previous level. Simultaneously he looked at the screen on his wrist. First tower 7th level, Bug Clan Mother Nest. Killing the Mother Nest would give 10,000 points, immediately transporting to the second tower's first level. Bug Clan Mother Nest. In reality, even the weakest Mother Nest was still comparable to a Sector Lord, sometimes even comparable to many Undyings. This training space's Mother Nest was lowered in power to fit the participants' level. Suggestion: kill the Mother Nest as early as possible. The later it gets, the Mother Nest will produce more and more bug clans, and stronger ones at that. Rumble. The 7th level space immediately transformed into a vast desert. Within the center of the desert there was a patch of green, and there lay a huge round ball, with a diameter of about 60 meters. The round ball had dents in it, simultaneously emitting some poison. Even its body itself was covered in poisonous liquid. Bug Clan Mother Nest. Luo Feng stared. Earth, Earth. Shenlong Jiao. Luo Feng thought of the 3 great dangers of Earth. In Shenlong Jiao, there was a terrifying mysterious ball there. Even Barbata had forbidden him from touching that thing. So that's the Bug Clan Mother Nest. Luo Feng was filled with fear within. Right, fear. Bug Clan. They were one of the pinnacle of races comparable to the human race. They were a very peculiar clan. The population of the Bug Clan, one could say they were shockingly many. However, from a different point of view, they could also be said to be shockingly few. One Bug Clan Mother Nest can produce trillions and trillions of bug soldiers. Their dominating strategy is that of using their numbers to overwhelm others. However, from a different standpoint, these slaughtering bug soldiers have very low intellect, even to the point of no intelligence at all, only physical capabilities. Countless bug soldiers were all completely subservient and obedient to the Mother Nest's command. The Mother Nest could send them to their deaths, and none of them would even resist. Hence, within the Bug Clan, only the Mother Nest had the right to be considered a life form with intelligence. With the number of Mother Nests around, the Bug Clan could be said to be extremely few in numbers. And within every Mother Nests, the weakest was comparable to a Sector Lord, while the strongest was comparable to Undyings. One Mother Nest could produce countless bug races, enough to dominate one galaxy, even up to a vast starfield. Mother Nest on Earth. Luo Feng felt a chill within. Barbata, that bastard. In reality, solar system, Mars. A small golden horned beast's body suddenly became energy, swiftly forming a black-clothed Luo Feng. Barbata, what's going on? Luo Feng raged. The golden horned beast was currently at universe level 8, hence he could preserve his consciousness both within reality and the virtual universe. What's more, the natural talent, Void Pagoda, allowed Luo Feng's earth body to be able to gather his focus to do several things with his consciousness. All this while maintaining a basic awareness in the body itself. What? Barbata said unhappily. You can still ask. Let me ask you, that Shenlong Jiao mysterious ball on Earth, what is that? The black-clothed Luo Feng raged. Luo Feng, I told you before, don't be anxious. When it's time for you to know, I'll let you know. Barbata said, that thing is not something the current you can deal with. That's the Bug Clan Mother Nest. Luo Feng roared angrily. The moment it awakens, it can produce countless large amounts of bug soldiers. When that happens, countless soldiers will swiftly dominate the entire Milky Way, even spreading throughout the Black Dragon Mountain star field. This is a disaster, disaster. The moment it awakens, Earth will be finished. There was such a big danger. Yet, you actually kept it from me. Luo Feng was a ball of rage. My God. The Mother Nest was on Earth. This was akin to when one went to bed only to know there was a bomb under the bed, one that could explode at any time. Oh, you know. Barbata was shocked. Luo Feng tried hard to suppress his anger. Speak, what do we do now? The Bug Clan, as one of the pinnacle of races comparable to humans in the universe, any one Mother Nest would be considered a great disaster. Hence in the virtual universe network, any information with regards to the Bug Clan mother nest was all considered classified, not easily widespread, or easy to acquire. However, the terrifying abilities of the Bug Clan, Luo Feng knew long ago. The inherited memories of the golden horned beast, back then just gathering all the memories alone took 16 days. The information contained within these memories was too huge. Luo Feng had only slightly organized it, and not looked at everything. With regards to the mother nest, Luo Feng too had only briefly browsed through the basics. The basic introductions didn't have the picture of the Bug Clan mother nest. It stated, Bug Clan, the core lies in the mother nests. And the mother nests are layers built by the queen. The queen's body is fragile and soft, yet it has a very powerful spirit-reading energy. However, its physical body is weak, hence it builds a strong mother nest. That itself becomes its armor. The queen can produce countless bug soldiers. The nest it builds is specially designed for its body, although its appearances differed. Luo Feng back and had only briefly organized the inherited memories, looking through only the most basic introductions. At this time, he was shocked to discover that there was a Bug Clan mother nest on Earth. Hence he had to go and look at the information in detail. The introduction of the mother nest only had so few words. However, the detailed introduction had large amounts of pictures and tens of millions of words. The information contained the detailed scariness of the Bug Clan mother nests, the many types of bug soldiers it could produce, etc., along with large amounts of pictures. This made Luo Feng very clear. On Earth, indeed there was a mother nest. Don't be angry, don't get anxious. What are you worried about? Do you think I'll harm your Earth? Barbata said, I know you won't, but I still must know. What's the deal with this Bug Clan mother nest? Luo Feng's consciousness communicated, if you don't explain clearly, I won't be able to relax. Who could? A thing that could at any time destroy Earth and even the entire Milky Way, who could relax, all right. Barbata said helplessly, I'll tell you, this Bug Clan mother nest was something your teacher brought back from the battlefield outside the starfield. On Earth, indeed there was a mother nest. Don't be angry, don't get anxious. What are you worried about? Do you think I'll harm your Earth? Barbata said, I know you won't, but I still must know. What's the deal with this Bug Clan mother nest? Luo Feng's consciousness communicated, if you don't explain clearly, I won't be able to relax. Who could? A thing that could at any time destroy Earth and even the entire Milky Way, who could relax, all right. Barbata said helplessly, I'll tell you, this Bug Clan mother nest was something your teacher brought back from the battlefield outside the starfield. Teacher. Luo Feng asked more, let me ask you, within this mother nest, is there a queen? The mother nest was only a nest or lair. The Bug Clan queen was the true life form, because the body of the queen was fragile and weak. Any warrior could easily destroy its body, plus the difficulty of building a nest itself was very high. Hence the queens of the Bug Clan couldn't easily dispose of their nests and build others. Yes. There is, and it's still alive. Barbata said, ah. Luo Feng's expression changed. However, you can relax. It poses no threat at all to Earth at the moment. Barbata explained, relax, you can think of it as, in a coma, and it's an eternal coma. As for the details, wait till your soul imprint reaches the level of your teacher, and you'll understand, nothing will happen. Luo Feng still felt it was a ticking time bomb, no. Unless an undying with soul abilities even higher than your teacher comes. Barbata smiled, that level of undying, if he wanted to destroy Earth, he could do so with a flip of his hand. He wouldn't waste the effort to keep a living Bug Clan mother nest. Only then did Luo Feng relax, curiously asking, what did my teacher want to actually do with this mother nest? He even went as far as keeping it alive. The Bug Clan mother nest's potential energy is very huge. If one could enslave this mother nest, just like he does humans, and nurture it well, then your teacher would have a very powerful force with him. Just that endless bug army would be enough to save your teacher's life from that attack before. Barbata exclaimed. Luo Feng nodded. The Bug Clan mother nest could produce tens of millions of bug soldiers. Once one could truly control a mother nest, that was extremely powerful. Against an endless sea of bugs, even undyings would have problems. If it wasn't that strong, the Bug Clan wouldn't be considered one of the elite races of the universe. Teacher's ambition was really wild. Luo Feng couldn't help but say. Barbata said helplessly, however the Bug Clan mother nest's life form itself is strange. Saying it's a pure life form is not completely right. However, its soul can be distributed into every single bug soldier's mind, and it can control all their thoughts. Your teacher's enslaving soul imprint is unable to control it, and before he could come up with a way to do so, he put it into an eternal sleep, hence he threw it onto Earth. Luo Feng said, well, he can't leave it on the Yunmo planet ship, right? Barbata replied. Luo Feng was speechless. The genius battle elimination was still going on. Over 1 million training spaces, the massacre continued. Days passed one at a time. That beautiful queen thought and tried many ways to attack Luo Feng. With its weak and fragile body, it could only rely on spirit attacks. As for Luo Feng with his incredibly strong consciousness and willpower, also with the Void Pagoda training, it was akin to an ant trying to shake a tree. It didn't affect Luo Feng at all. Actually, if one was able to kill all the bug soldiers, usually the queen itself didn't have much resisting ability. The queen was strong, in the sense it could produce endless and many types of bug soldiers. Countdown, 10 days. Luo Feng looked down at the screen on his wrist. A few more minutes and the 10 days would be up. He stepped on the dark cloud shuttle, becoming a beam of light, and shooting at the queen hiding in the distance that didn't dare to mess with Luo Feng. That seemingly weak and fragile poor queen, its dark blue eyes filled with resentment looking at Luo Feng. The golden blade pierced right through its forehead, still using its charm. Luo Feng pondered, the first level bug clan mother nest wasn't strong at all. It could barely deal with normal star level 9s. Killing everything and finishing the first tower's 7 levels, he was transported to the second tower. The shocking thing was, the opponents of the second tower were actually exactly the same as the first. The only difference was that their strengths had risen greatly. The same ferocious beast hairy blood mammoth in the second tower is much stronger than the first. Then the third tower, the fourth, how scary would they be? Also the back 5th, 6th and 7th. No wonder the virtual universe company has so much confidence that everyone would eventually die. Luo Feng was shocked. This training space was very difficult. The aim of the 7 towers and the numbers were all exactly the same. Only the strength of the creatures were different. First level, the ferocious beast hairy blood mammoth, a total of 10,000 of them. Second level, it was the demon 9-headed python, a total of 10,000 of them. The difference between the demons and ferocious beasts was the intellect. Just like the beasts on Earth, in truth they belonged to the demon race. Third level, the metallic life form Tuoluo race warriors, 1,000 of them. Fourth level, was the universe mysterious being, flying monkey, 1,000 of them. They belonged to a special breed of the ferocious beasts. The 5th level, was the automaton race puppets, 100 of them. 6th level, was the space beast Kang, 10 of them. The 7th level was the bug clan mother nest, just 1. The 7 towers were all arranged the same way. However, it was very obvious that the strength of the creatures in the 7 towers rose greatly with each tower. The genius battle had created huge waves of excitement in every universe country, getting the attention of countless people. And the pinnacle of geniuses battle currently from the 1008 universe countries, made countless people from all over incredibly anxious. It couldn't be helped, after all the training elimination round wasn't broadcasted publicly, only the rankings could be checked. Rongjun is too cool. Look, on the virtual universe website, the newest footage of Savage Rongjun has been shown. In the virtual universe streets of the Ganwu continent, a couple of youths pointed at the screen in the street. That girl said excitedly as the man beside her laughed, the ranks are constantly changing. However, as long as they make it into the top 1,000, the virtual universe company will create a broadcast for them. It's only our Ganwu universe country's Rongjun has gotten that honor. Wasn't there a Luo Feng before? Haven't you seen the ranks? He's all the way at the bottom. The man shook his head. Didn't a lot of big people say Madman Luo Feng was very strong? What happened? Why is his rank so low? The girl asked curiously. No idea. The man shook his head and sighed. It is rather disappointing. I still worshipped him so much before. I always felt he was more vicious than Rongjun. However now, over 100 million galaxies in the Ganwu universe country, countless people were discussing the ranks of the genius battle, while many were expressing their disappointment at Luo Feng. Because, in the past, within the Ganwu universe the discussions were rampant with the ranking of the geniuses of the Ganwu country. Rongjun was ranked 1, and Luo Feng 2. These two were the main stars. However, from the current look, Rongjun was intrepid, but Luo Feng, he was ranked right at the bottom. Within the over 10,000 star fields within the Ganwu universe country, their words about Luo Feng were already considered gentle. The ones from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield however had gone mad. Madman. Have you really gone mad? Why are you so lousy? You shouldn't be so lousy. Such a disappointment, madman, my beloved madman, my worshipped madman, where is he? How can you be right at the back? I don't expect you to rush to the front, but you should still make it to the top 10,000. Madman, madman, you are such a letdown. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, the countless citizens that were proud of Luo Feng had intense feelings. Some so far that they scolded Luo Feng with rage, hating that he didn't fight hard enough. The rankings are still moving, we'll only know at the end. Luo Feng may just go at it at the end. Before in the first world, he did the same thing as he only showed his strength at the back. Everybody has to believe in madman, we will always support madman. One spectrum was intense hate and rage after experiencing disappointment. The other was a solid support, keeping faith in Luo Feng. However, Luo Feng, who represented the Black Dragon Mountain Empire in the pinnacle of genius battles, had indeed hurt many of the citizens' faith. Virtual universe, in the plaza surrounded by 1008 skyscrapers. 1008 undyings all sat there, looking at the floating screen, laughing and discussing. There's really a bunch of geniuses, who hid their true strengths in their respective universe country selections, surprises. The group of undyings were judging a few of the shocking performances, as the top 100 of this training space elimination would immediately receive a slot on the name list. Hence many of the truly strong warriors who had been hiding their strengths unleashed it all using their full strengths, causing the undyings to be surprised. That 8-man youth is really nimble. These sort of places with many opponents really suit him. Beside, the scale-armored giant's voice rumbled, training space is after all just a test. It's nothing like a 1v1 battle. And whatever's been arranged within, there's metal life forms, automaton dolls, these are all things that don't fear soul attacks. Hence, those proficient in soul attacks are at a major disadvantage. 1v1, human duel. Compared to this training space elimination, there would be differences in the people picked out. 13. What you said makes sense. Beside, a silver-haired man in a silver long robe said, however, a true genius would still perform well. And I feel that this training space has been designed well, because in the future, their enemies will be the many different strong races in the universe. The scale-armored giant nodded his head, looking at the ranking on the screen, where it displayed the 1000 geniuses form the Ganwu universe country. Rong Jun, ranked 16, not bad. This Luo Feng. The scale-armored giant was angry, he's really treating it as a training ground, taking the maximum 10 days every level. This punk, he really doesn't care about others scolding him outside. As he paid attention to Luo Feng, he could easily see that Luo Feng was using up all the time given at each level, eliminated. The scale-armored giant discovered that 2 other geniuses from the bottom had read universe language words behind them, eliminated. 2 more died. At this time, in the center plaza there were already up to 100,000 eliminated geniuses. Almost every few seconds, 10 or so human silhouettes would simultaneously appear in the center plaza. Windmill, you've been eliminated too. Bu La Sai, you were earlier than me. The green-haired youth Windmill joked back. I've never expected myself to be able to get into the top 7,300. A handsome youth with curly hair, dressed in golden armor, shook his head. When I entered the training space, I fought hard with the greatest speed through each level, wanting to raise my rank. And everything went as I expected, killing fast at the start. My name rose extremely fast, rushing to the top 100,000 even. However, the third tower later was really too difficult, my speed slowed down and finally I died. In an instant my rank dropped to the back 300,000, and after my death, at the third tower 5th level, I was sat on by that automaton puppet, really tragic. Sat on. Windmill laughed loudly. How far did you reach? That handsome youth asked. 3 road tower level 7. Windmill couldn't help but curse. That bug clan mother nest was too strong as the bug soldiers kept coming out. The production speed was much faster than the previous 2 towers, and much stronger as well. My killing speed couldn't match up to the production speed. I could only watch as the soldiers increased in number and buried me alive. Ha ha. The handsome youth couldn't help but laugh. Oh, right. I just checked the rankings. The madman from our universe country, the one that you are on good terms with, why is he so low? Windmill gazed about. Have you looked around? There's already over 100,000 eliminated geniuses. As long as Madman stays within the training space, his name will continue to rise, just wait. That punk, I'm very sure, just like the last time in the first world of elimination, this punk didn't even do anything the 1st of October days, and later went on a slaughtering spree. I'm sure this will be exactly the same, so devious. The handsome youth stared. This is called calm. Grounded. Windmill mocked, unlike you, rushing headfirst, being eliminated at the third tower 5th level, 7 towers. 1,008,000 geniuses, they had all passed the first and second towers. However, the moment the third tower began, many had been eliminated. The third tower had eliminated the most people. Almost 90% of the entire number, Luo Feng, right, just like that, stay low. The 9th Prince Brolin was within his own Black Dragon Mountain Islands palace, comfortably laying in his chair, looking at the floating screen. On it was a forum. He was watching a large amount of people scolding Luo Feng for not fighting hard enough. Interesting, interesting. Brolin was all smiles. Luo Feng, even though I don't want to mess with you, I don't want you to be too strong too. The position you are at right now is just right, it fits you. Brolin could continue living his satisfied life as a prince. After all, the imperial family was backed by that emperor that opened the country. As an undying being, Luo Feng couldn't pick a fight with him. However, Nuolan Shan was different. Right now, Luo Feng could easily get people to help him settle Nuolan Shan. Hence, ever since Luo Feng made headlines in the genius battles, the cautious Nuolan Shan was scared out of his own family palace. He ended up moving to a distant Karma star field, on a harsh environment normal life planet, and living a secluded life. Good. Good. After his training, he flew back to his simple villa, his cold eyes looking at the quantum computer screen in the living room. The rankings changed occasionally. He couldn't help but smile coldly, forcing me to leave my family. This time, you little punk, you will drop and fall hard, right at the bottom. Great. In spite of the madness happening outside, rage, suspicion, scolding, cheers, Luo Feng maintained his position steady as a mountain, taking 10 days for every level, slowly progressing. Second tower level 7, past point 3 road tower, 7 levels, passed. The fourth tower's 7 levels. If the Mosha clan clone hadn't been born yet, Luo Feng wouldn't have been able to make it through. However, as like before, he took one step at a time and steadily passed all 7 levels. Virtual universe, in the center plaza. To the eternal undyings, staying 1 year here was a very casual thing altogether. Undeniably, this level of gathering, they couldn't leave so easily either. The 1008 undyings were all in discussion. 13. Your universe country's Luo Feng has risen greatly again. Look at this broadcast. That punk has maintained a steady pace, not rushed, but not slow either, and he passes every level easily. Look, he's made it into the top 500. The scale-armored giant sat in a huge chair, looking at the screen before him. The ranking on the screen was very peculiar. The Ganwu Universe country's genius number 1 was Rong Jun. He was currently the overall rank 13. However, Rong Jun had already died in a battle, and was kicked out of the training space. This Rong Jun made it earlier onto the 5th tower when he died. During that time, Luo Feng was still at the first level of the 4th tower, slowly moving. The scale-armored giant couldn't help but force a smile. He remembered clearly the joke that happened before. Back then he said, Luo Feng is maintaining a very low profile. Slowly, just watch, towards the end he will rise to the top 3,000 to 5,000. The scale-armored giant had said to the other undyings back then. However, later on, Luo Feng's name rose steadily, and right now he was in the top 500, 5th tower. Luo Feng has entered the 5th tower, 1 ST level, success. Rank 128, 3 road level, success. Rank 42. As time passed, the scale-armored giant creased his eyebrows. Under that helmet were eyes that were filled with a deathly aura, staring hard at the screen, saying softly, this Luo Feng, he hides his power really well. However, I like these kinds of surprises. His eyes had a sense of glee. Thank you for watching.